Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Mighty Matt Podcast. We're having class outside today, given the great weather, and in honor of my special guest, Hailey Kinter. I was introduced to Hailey by Gretchen D'Souza, who was a previous guest on the show. And Hailey is an incredible person, and I can't wait to get to know her a little bit better. When she's not teaching yoga, she's paddling her way out to surf some incredible waves. So without further ado, I want to welcome Hailey. How's it going, Hailey?
It's going great.
I love it. Now, you're coming to us from where? Santa Cruz or?
Santa Cruz, California.
Oh, that's great. As we all know, overcoming life's obstacles can take great strength. So when did you become mighty?
There was no single moment, but at 13, my journey to mighty started.
Okay.
That was when I collapsed at school for the first time. We didn't know it at the time, but I was having heart arrhythmias that are very difficult to catch.
And what was the sensation like when you first started to feel these things?
It was like the bell had just rung and everybody was like going to their next class. I was like a freshman in high school, so
Okay.
I just noticed that when I stood up to grab my backpack and go to the next class, that my limbs felt like noodles.
Oh my gosh.
And my heart was like racing.
Right.
It was probably over 200 because I was having, at the time, supraventricular tachycardia.
Okay.
But I didn't know that. I was just...
You're a freshman. You didn't know that, right?
So I went to my next class. In my little kid brain, I was like, oh, it's probably because I'm hungry, because it was
right.
Period. I don't know. When you're a kid, you're super optimistic and you're like,
absolutely. You think you're invincible too. It's like,
yeah, but I ended up collapsing. And luckily, one of the class clown kids, because I was like outside the door to the classroom.
Yeah,
one
sure.
of the class clown kids was like super late as per usual. And he like saw me, took one look at me and was like, I'll get the teacher. And the teacher came out and they called 911 because I was like purple on the floor. And then that just started happening from like then on every single day.
Oh, man.
And doctors, unfortunately, didn't really take me seriously.
Okay.
And this happened until I was like 18 years old. So I ended up like in a wheelchair in special education programs because of how disruptive that was to my daily life.
Oh, because you would sort of pass out or fall down or...
Yeah, I was having collapsing episodes and seizures like every single day.
Got it. So they thought the wheelchair was a safety kind of mechanism.
Yeah. The school was like, you have to start using a wheelchair and wear a helmet if you want to come to class.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And I was like in a special pull-out classroom for like medically fragile kids.
Right.
And
were your lesson plans the same as the other kids?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so I had a similar experience as well.
Yeah, we didn't really get challenged as much as I would have liked.
Okay.
But, I mean, I was like in and out of consciousness all day, so my teachers really did what they could. And
yeah, that's
I
rough.
really appreciate that they did a lot of like therapy kind of things. Like we did art therapy a lot.
Great.
They had this like video game console, so we would all play video games like that.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty fun, honestly.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, at 18 is when, because this whole time, like when I was in high school, doctors encouraged us not to seek medical care.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, unless she's been purple for like 5 minutes, don't call 911. Like,
okay.
So because of that, we didn't seek medical care a lot. And at 18 years old, I collapsed and survived CPR. And I was in ICU for 3 days. And that's when doctors were like, okay, there's no way in hell anxiety caused her to stop breathing and need CPR. Like, that's where we draw the line.
Right.
And luckily, this was finally, because I was 18, so this finally happened at an adult hospital, not a children's hospital.
I see. Okay.
I don't know if that made a difference or not, but yeah.
So when did you eventually get to a doctor that was able to properly diagnose what was going on?
In my early 20s, I finally went to a cardiologist, and he referred me to an electrophysiologist because my heart
Wow.
was perfectly fine
Yep.
physically, but electrically is where all of my issues are.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I had to see a very specialized cardiologist that specializes in the electrophysiology of the heart.
Wow.
And
That seems really, really rare, right?
yeah, it's like stupid rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, we thought I had POTS, which is not rare, but eventually, when I went to Stanford Hospital and like got into their autonomic program and had tilt
Right.
table testing, they found out I had inappropriate sinus tachycardia. So
Okay.
my heart baseline was just going way too fast, and then it
Oh,
was
wow.
also slipping into those rhythms that were like over 200 beats per minute,
Wow.
causing my issues. So I had
And what was did the sensation change from that first time that you had an episode to, your condition at that point, or was it just kind of same?
It was kind of always the same. Extreme chest pain, heart feeling like it's going so fast that it's just gonna, like, fall out of your chest.
Poor thing, that's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible, and as, like, a kid and adults are, like, telling you, "You're fine, you're fine." Kids
Right.
are not
It's
stupid.
like, "No, I'm not."
I was like, "No, it's not normal." Like
Yeah, right, this is not normal. Well, I'm
and right
glad
before
so
you, like
Stanford is where you kind of started to get a better understanding of what was going on.
yeah, and even before Stanford, UC Davis too,
Oh,
because I
good.
was up in by UC Davis at the time
Yep.
also. But it wasn't really until I started having ablations that we really got control over like my
And can you
black
tell me what that is?
ears. It's when they take a catheter and they go up one of your veins, usually your groin vein,
Yep.
and they go all the way into your heart. And for SVT, the ablations are done wide awake because they
Okay.
can't really sedate you because they need you to be
They need the
excited.
rhythm, right?
Yeah, so they like pace random spots in your heart until they trigger your arrhythmia. So you're
Okay.
laying on the OR table and they give you
Oh
your
my god,
arrhythmia.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like, "Yep, found it. You can
Yeah,
get rid of
right,
it
got it.
now, please."
Oh my gosh. So,
But
are you
yeah.
still using a wheelchair to get around daily or
Yeah, I started walking again around 18, and I was very, like, invisibly disabled, so
Yeah,
once we were treating me for POTS, things started getting better, and I was
yep.
actually able to go to paramedic school. I put myself through
Oh,
EMT and
cool.
because I was like, "I'm gonna be the medic that believes people and that
Believes
doesn't
people,
treat
right, right.
little kids that are panicking like shit." So
Yeah, right.
yeah, I graduated and unfortunately, right before like you do your internship is completely unpaid work.
Yeah,
So your entire training, you're working your booty off, but for nothing. And right after my internship, they decided to kind of pull the rug out from under me and they were
oh,
like, "Hey,
geez.
so because of your seizures, we don't want you working on a rig. We're not going to
Yep,
give you your license." And
yep,
I was like, "What?" I was the top of my class.
right.
So it was kind of a huge shock, but I don't regret any of the time. Like, my internship was so much fun.
Oh, I bet, and the training's invaluable. Just to have
Yeah,
that knowledge is incredible.
you never forget it. So, yeah, it was quite the experience, and I think I learned confidence in how to, like, advocate for myself a lot better being on the other
Absolutely,
side of the stethoscope, so to speak. So
absolutely. So what was the next part of the evolution of your, diagnosis?
So my condition is super rare. It's called AAG or like idiopathic progressive polyneuropathy. But
Okay.
it basically, rather than like all of my limbs going paralyzed, it's affecting all of my organs. So my
Oh,
heart
okay.
was the first thing to show issues, and that slowly got worse. I actually have issues with bradycardia now, so I got a pacemaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like, the next thing to go wrong was my bladder. I, like,
Yep.
lost the ability to control my bladder and got diagnosed with neurogenic bladder and then bowel, and then last year in the fall, my stomach became paralyzed too. Like,
Oh,
out of
wow.
we figured out that I have gastroparesis, like, 4 or grade 4, which is, like, this as severe as it can get.
My
So
god. Now,
Yeah,
how are you as
so,
these things are progressing? How who do you turn to for help to
uh,
talk to and stay fired up?
yeah, definitely the disabled community on Instagram for sure. Just being able to find people that have what you have is automatically a lot more comforting, and it doesn't really matter what someone's disability is. Like, I talk to people with spinal cord injuries a lot too about
Sure.
bladder and bowel management and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the disabled community I lean on hard for sure.
That's great. No, I've seen some of your videos on YouTube, and I think it's first of all, it's commendable to be able to be public and communicate about the things that you're going through because they're significant and things that people don't understand and don't necessarily see. So I think it's hugely important. But when did you start to get involved? I know was yoga was the first thing that you started to kind
Yeah.
of become a yogi. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I had just gotten out of the ICU, finally knew something was seriously wrong with me. I had that validation,
Sure.
and doctors were like, "You should try to go to yoga because
Okay.
yoga could, like, really help you." So I went
Yeah.
to the community college, had, like, an intro to yoga class, and I took it, and I probably spent, like, at least half of that class, in child's pose or shavasana. I didn't
Okay.
care. I was just, like, in the corner
Yeah.
in
You were doing
child's
what
pose.
you do, right?
Yeah, and, like, the community college, they try their best, but they're not super spiritual, and they don't really talk about the other branches so much,
Yeah,
because
sure.
yoga the movement is, like, 1/8 of what yoga is about.
Right,
Yoga is
right.
so much more to that. So I went to a local studio, Pleasure Point Yoga, and I walked
Yep.
in there or was I walking at the time? Yeah, I walked in there and I was like, this place is gonna, like, cure me or, like, heal
Right,
me,
right.
whatever."
Sure.
And they had a yoga teacher training starting, so I was like, "Oh, what a perfect, like, way to get consistent and really have this, like, healing experience." So, I signed up for their yoga teacher training, walked into the 200 program. I think halfway through it, I started using a rollator, and then by the
Okay.
end of it, I think I had a wheelchair.
Okay.
So, it definitely did not cure me. I definitely got worse throughout the training.
I'm sure you got the spiritual and flexibility benefit out of it, right?
Yeah, so I feel like spiritually it healed me
Yeah.
and, like, emotionally, and just having the entire classroom accept me how I was
Yeah.
showing up every single day allowed me in turn to, like, be able to accept myself.
Absolutely.
I think acceptance was, like, the biggest thing that I got out of yoga, and immediately I knew I wanted to share that with, like, other disabled people because
Nice. How did you go from the training to getting a class full of people that were interested in learning?
that took time for sure. I started teaching I think a Rolette's experience first. I don't know if you're familiar with Rolette's experience, but
Y
the Rolettes is they're a dance team, a
Oh, the
wheelchair
Rolettes,
dance.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never heard it called the Rolettes experience. I know
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
Rolettes from the Abilities Expo. Sure.
Yeah, so every year they host in the summer this week-long dance camp, but for
Yeah.
all ages, not
Okay.
just kids, and, it's just all women with disabilities, and being able to go there and, like, roll into a room where it's just you're normal, everybody's at your
Sure.
level,
Everybody's in a chair, right?
and when someone walks into the room, everybody turns to look at them because they're, like,
Right.
walking like,
Yeah, they're the odd person out.
it was such a great experience, and I knew I wanted to teach yoga there, so I really hounded, Chelsea Hill, and I was like, "Hey, I'm a 500-hour yoga teacher, like, let
Nice.
me teach yoga here." So, they graciously let me try to teach yoga, at the next one, and then I came back the next year and taught again as well. It was awesome.
That's
Uh
great. What are some of the things that you think are challenges for a new disabled person that's would be interested or maybe scared to take up yoga?
I think definitely because I still struggle with this too, is just showing up in a space where you're obviously different from everyone
Yep.
else. A lot of people look at you and a lot of people ask weird questions and
Sure.
get weird. So just showing up
That's a
is
great
the
way
hard
to put it.
part.
People do, they just get weird.
Yeah. It's the hard part is just showing up. I still struggle with that to this day.
Yep.
So
That's so cool. So then what brought you into adaptive surfing?
the High Fives Foundation. But to rewind,
Yeah, yeah.
my students showed up to my yoga class. His name is Claudio Morales. He's a pro adaptive surfer in Santa
Oh,
Cruz.
nice. Yeah,
So
that's great.
he showed up to my yoga class, and at the end of the class, he was like, "Hey, so now that I've taken your yoga class, are you going to come surfing with me?" And I
Nice.
literally laughed in his face because I thought he was joking.
Right.
Because the only like normal reaction.
Right, right, right.
Like, what? How do you even go surfing? I was like,
Yeah.
just mind blown.
Yep.
But yeah, he invited me to a high five surfing camp, and I spent the entire night before not sleeping because my brain was trying to picture how would they get me down the cliff of stairs.
Yep.
Like, are they gonna piggyback me? Are they gonna carry me? Like, how's that
Right.
gonna work? And then I was like, I don't even know if I can get into a wetsuit. And then I was nervous about how my body would react in the freezing cold water.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know how to swim. How's that gonna work? Or
Right.
it's like, I know how to swim, but I'm terrible at swimming now. So
Sure.
I just had so many anxieties. And
Yeah, that's a huge undertaking, given some of the challenges you have. So that's a
yeah,
heroic effort. Do you feel like it was the group of people that helped you overcome those fears, or what got you out on the water?
I think curiosity
Yeah.
and just the disabled community being there mainly.
Sure.
I
I've
was,
seen your videos, and obviously you've got a whole routine now, like for preparing to surf and, checking the weather, getting all your gear ready. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Because that was something that blew my mind when I saw it. And I think it would be interesting for listeners of the podcast to understand what you have to go through to surf.
yeah, I need to make more videos about it because it's the number one question I get is like, how do you waterproof your central line?
Right.
And I have two ostomies, so a lot of people like are shocked that you can even go swimming with ostomies, let
Right.
alone
Now, for
like.
people that don't know what a central line is or ostomies, I happen to know what it is, but tell us what that is.
So a central line is a tube that sticks out of your either arm or like your chest area, and you have to keep it dry and clean or it can kill you. It's not a small problem to have to undertake with water sports. I'm also on IV nutrition, so that's also a pretty high risk, and it really complicates going surfing because I can't just like get a text from someone being like, "Hey, you want to go surfing tomorrow?
Right, right, right.
Let's do it." No, I have to be like, "What time are we going?" Because I have to like do TPN math on when to stop my infusion. So then I need to figure out when I need to start it, and usually start it earlier. But right before I go surfing and put on a wetsuit, I have to waterproof my line. And since I have two ostomies, I just figured out like an ostomy bag is waterproof.
Yep.
Why can't I waterproof my central line with it?
Sure.
So I tried it one day in the shower. It worked. So I was like, that was also the other thing about the anxiety of the first time going surfing. I didn't
Sure.
know if my waterproof ostomy bag idea was going to work in the ocean. I had
Right.
no idea. I was like, I might end up in the hospital tonight, but let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Right.
Yeah.
God, that's awesome.
So I don't know if that answered your question, but
No, it did. But so anyway, you figure out this system, you get everything set up, you're in the wetsuit, and then do you always have I noticed in the video you had that great person that was with you initially to help you
Mhm.
get on the board and start paddling out beyond the break. Tell me a little bit about that person. You had said that this person lets you struggle so that you can figure it out, but is
Yeah.
there so you don't drown, basically.
It was probably Katie because
Yeah.
she's who I've been surfing with the most lately.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have Katie that kind of helps you out in the water, right?
Mhm.
And does she help you get beyond the break, or do you do that you on your own to paddle out?
Once I'm in the water, I'm pretty independent.
Okay.
With the newer surfboard, I get tired pulling myself back onto the surfboard after
Yeah,
so many times. So
sure.
sometimes they help me conserve energy by like holding the board still, and they stay with me to make sure I'm good, even getting out there. But
Yeah.
it's mostly
So,
just getting into the water and getting
yeah.
out that I need
But
help
once
with.
you're in the water, you're fairly independent. So
Mostly.
tell me about the first time you caught a wave and what that felt like.
It was with the high fives at that surf camp. And I don't know if there is a way to really describe it other than like euphoric. And it's so addicting. As soon as it happens, you're just immediately like, let's do it again.
I love it. I
It
love it. Now, how
happens.
often do you surf these days?
Not as much as I would like. I just got back from Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I went to
Aloha.
Hawaiian Adaptive Surfing Championships.
Yeah.
And that was a blast, but I actually haven't gone surfing since Hawaii because, yeah, when you have to coordinate with other people to go surfing, it gets really difficult.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it's tough. Of the places that you've surfed, what's your favorite?
it was so much fun, and I was expecting to get tossed around like a rag doll in
Sure.
Hawaii, but that didn't happen. It was like very calm because we were at Queens, and yeah, I didn't try canoes at all, but we were at Queens in Waikiki, and that was an amazing surf break. But at home, I am really partial to like Jack's and
Yep.
38th Avenue, Pleasure Point area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Is there access there that makes it easier, or is it still
No,
cliff?
it's
Yeah.
it's a cliff. But honestly, Jack's is probably like the nicest staircase to be carried down because it's
Okay.
concrete and there's no gaps in between the steps. And there's like 3 sets of stairs, but they have a good amount of like flat area that
Yep.
break up the 3 different parts. So if people are piggybacking me or carrying me, they can like set me down in the
Yeah.
flat areas if they have to. Yeah.
That's great. Now,
Nothing.
do you do a lot of traveling outside of the surf trip to Hawaii, or?
No, that was the first time I've traveled since ending up on IV nutrition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are there any places that you're thinking about that you'd like to go?
I definitely want to go to the East Coast to visit my baby sister. She's not a baby anymore. She's like 10.
And where
And
does she live?
she's in Pennsylvania area.
Oh, nice.
She's growing up so dang fast. I need to get out there. But yeah, kind of nerve-wracking going all the way across
Oh,
the
yeah, travel is difficult, obviously.
yeah.
I I wanna ask you a couple of questions. In your time in a wheelchair, what's the funniest thing that someone's asked you about being in a wheelchair or being disabled in general?
There was a funny instance where I was grocery shopping and there was this little girl dressed up in like a princess costume in
Yep,
a shopping cart with her dad. And as soon as I rolled into like the area, her eyes were just like glued to me. I could feel her staring at me.
sure.
She was so cute. And she just very loudly was like, "Daddy, why does she need a wheelchair?" And I like turned to look and this guy, his face is just like beet
Oh,
red.
yeah, he's horrified.
Yeah, because like at this point, the entire vegetable area at Trader Joe's, perfect Trader Joe's interaction.
Yeah, that's right.
I turned around and I rolled up to her and I was like, I have a secret. Don't tell any adults, but I'm actually a mermaid and I haven't figured out how to
Yes,
use these clunky legs. Like, you gotta show me
yes.
some tricks on how to use them. And I like backed up and her jaw just like dropped to the floor. Like,
That's so good.
this little
That
girl,
is a wonderful response. I love it.
I actually had to like turn around because
You
I
start
just
laughing.
immediately started laughing, but I didn't want to like laugh in their face.
Well, what I love about that response is it's not snarky, and
Yeah.
it sort of it captures their imagination and
Yeah.
makes them think about you in a different way. That
Mm.
is I have goosebumps hearing that.
When
That's
I was a
awesome.
little girl, I was obsessed with mermaids, so that's the answer that I would have
Well,
wanted.
that's the other thing, like, all these little girls are obsessed with mermaids, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful I love that answer.
I saw them, like, later again in the grocery store, and the dad was, like, mouthing "thank you" at me. It was just very cute. Yeah.
That's great. I'm gonna have to start telling people I'm a merman. I don't know.
Yeah, tell them.
I like that. I like it. And I always close these episodes with a question, which is if I were to clone you and there were two Hailey Kinters sitting in front of me, what question would I ask you to reveal the real Hailey Kinter?
I'd say if you invite me to go get coffee or matcha with you and I say no, then I'm either a clone or I need to go to the hospital because something's wrong with me.
That's part of your daily routine, huh? I love it.
Probably the same as surfing. If you offered to take me surfing and I say no for whatever reason, then I need to go to the hospital.
That is awesome. Oh my God. Hailey, there are very few people that I've come across that I'm truly inspired is a weird word to use, but I was moved by what you've done, what you've gone through, and what you do to get out and surf and do all the things that you do. So I am just delighted to meet you. I can't wait to continue our friendship. And I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. You're an absolute treat.
Thank
and a
you
mermaid.
for inviting me.
Yeah, of course.